Yo, what's going on, guys? And welcome to kind of power rankings, kind of just talking about playoffs for the BDL. We had our round one playoff games kicking off this week, and we're here to talk about them and next week's fixtures, I guess. So, we had the draw on Twitter for who played who, and it was a second seed versus a wild card for each match, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we talked about these in the last PR vid, our predictions and the matchups and everything. And we've got our results in, and we're just going to dive straight into them. See, the first one, Ted, I'm sure you're going to talk a lot about this,
Yeah,
is
yeah. I'm going to have to.
Ted's team, the Volcsnions, versus Womble, the Commissioner, and his Northampton Celesteela. And Womble took the win 2-1. Talk us
This
through
is
it, Ted.
basically the battle of the battles is basically the battle of the top two dogs in the admin team, obviously. Um, Game one, very close, ended 1-0 towards me. Um, the last couple of turns, he misplayed. Was meant to click party mod on the Colossal when it was Dynamax, but instead he Will-O-Wisp, which doesn't affect Colossal, and ended up KOing his Latias, and then I Heat Wave, which KO'd his Glacier, and then it was just ended up being a 1v1 against his Torcat, which I KO'd with Ancient Power. So game one was a big mistake on his part, which he could have won in my opinion. And then the final two games were pretty close. Um, it just basically came down to the right plays and predictions and all that stuff. I felt like I did run in game two in a lot more because I thought I definitely had the lead in game two, but Womble came back from behind and ended up winning game 2-0, and the same thing with game 3 2-0. So it happens. I'm not that disappointed in myself. I think I had a pretty good run in this league and a good first time in the playoffs for the VDL.
Yeah, fair play. Sounds like a good battle. Obviously, making it to playoffs is an achievement in itself, with quite a big
Mm-hmm.
league, a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, it looks like Latias did most of the work last year, I guess, for Womble.
Yeah, he brought weakness policy last year, which is really interesting. I thought it would be like life orb, or maybe focus sash maybe, but I was more leaning towards life orb than YP. And he actually told me that he never brought a weakness policy last year before, and that was the first time he did it. So props to him prepping for the team.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, Womble progresses on to the next round, and then we'll take a look at the next fixture, which is the T-Star Sources versus the Stroman Staraptors. So Saki versus MTB, which ended in a 2-1 win for MTB and the Stroman Staraptors. I literally just watched this before
Yeah,
the Nintendo Direct. So yeah, pretty fresh in the mind. And Mudsdale went crazy.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was pretty much the game. Um, the Raptors had matchup all the way, right? You just bring in Mudsdale. It was also funny because he forfeited that game too. But had he actually kept playing, it was likely he would have won that. Um, from Saki's commentary. So, yeah, it was a good game, really fun game to watch. But ultimately, the horse.
Yeah, I mean that's actually the second notable time I've seen MTB drop out of a game which I don't think was necessarily over.
Yeah,
yeah.
So hopefully he does that next
One
week.
brother, one brother goes down, one more left.
Well, who knows how many other brothers there are?
Yeah, who knows?
Who else hasn't he told us about?
I don't know.
But yeah, Mudsdale picked up every kill, literally.
that's just insane.
Yeah, picked up 10 kills in a 3 game set. That's crazy. So MTB advances on to round 2 of the playoffs. Our next fixture was between the Welsh Warlords and the Cardiff Komala. You might have something to say about this, Gumi.
Yeah. So we did a lot of prep. I talked with Micheal about a lot of the things that we were planning, but ultimately we just decided that belly drum Slowbro was the way to go. It was just because he was really comfortable playing with Slowbro, and Matrix just had a lot of tools that, like, I think my team could have dealt with, but it just wasn't the way we had planned it. It just wasn't able to cover for everything, even though we thought it could from theory. So Matrix played incredibly well. Safety got with Snorlax. I'll give him props for that, because that was a really good bring. But yeah, I'm sad my team got out this early, but yeah, it definitely was. It was cool to see. See my team and stuff. So
I think Kel's pretty unlucky game 1 with 2 powers on the Slowbro.
yeah, that's true as well.
But still, yeah, I mean, game 2 was a pretty telling match of a 4-0 from Snorlax.
Yeah, Snorlax goes in.
So there we have it. It was a 2-0 win for Matrix and the Welsh Warlords, and they advance on to the next round. The final fixture would have been
Rebellion and Scraggies, right?
Rebellion and Scraggies, yeah. Tyler and Lucian. And they played before in regular season, right? And the Scraggies won.
Yeah.
This time, Lucian got his revenge.
Yep.
And took it 2-1 where it mattered in playoffs, knocking Tyler out. I did watch this one. He maxed Klefki game 1. Like, that's such a Lucian move.
Yeah, definitely.
Game 2 was like a bit tighter, and then game 3 was quite a good one as well. Urshifu. Klefki picking up lots of kills this week. 5 kills from Klefki.
Yeah, it was definitely a good set. I didn't, I thought Tyler had it because he 2-0'd him the last game. It was just like it was pretty easy, one and done. But Lucian had insane prep this week. Like,
Pikachu was such a pain.
Yes. It was really not something like, usually in these rematches you don't want to make a bunch of changes, but he just he scrapped his team, he went, and he made a really, really good team to beat the Scraggy. So I mean, props to him. It was a really good set, and you could see just how much time Lucian spent prepping.
Right, yeah, so then there we have it. Lucian advances through to the next round, where we then had our draw for the round 2 of playoffs, which would be winners from round 1 versus the division winners who had the bye. And the draw has gone, as you can see here on screen. The Boltund Bashers, our unbeaten team, Goomer, who isn't here right now, who's 8-0 right now, versus Wombo and the Celestinas. The Wailords came through and matched up against Otto and the Pacific Slowbros, which was a week 8 game in regular season in which the Slowbros took the win. So that's going to be an interesting rematch. We'll get into all the matchups in a sec. I'm just going over the fixtures. Myself have drawn MTB and the Strom Star Raptors, which is going to be a tricky game. Already had a headache over team building. And last one is the Seadras have drawn Rebellion. So Lucian versus Source and his Seadras. So do we want to go into the matchups a little bit?
Yep.
Yeah.
So where am I looking here? Matchup. Boltund Bashers. Not Phantom Celestinas. So here we have the matchup for the Bashers and the Celestinas. What are our immediate thoughts? Anyone?
I think that Womble really knows how to use his team. And I know obviously you could say the same about Coomer because of he's a no, but I actually really like Womble here, especially against Goomer's team. Let me pull up the matchup real fast. Sorry.
I actually agree. I think me and you were the only ones who voted for him in the predictions channel.
Yeah.
Voted for Goomer. It's basically a win for Goomer if he manages to get rid of the Blaster and the Latias, mostly for me. But I think Wombo definitely has the tools to beat Goomer if he plays his cards right. So it's one of those if and then battles for me.
I don't know. I honestly don't know if Goomer can beat a Lumberry Glacier here. Like, I really don't know. Like, it seems as if Womble's gonna bring Trick Room because that looks pretty strong here, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, Gumi, when we discussed my plan versus Wombo, honestly, you gave me the idea of running Iron Ball Machamp due to his Trick Room options, and he didn't bring Trick Room, so it's like I said, it's one of those situations where he can make you think he's bringing one certain strat and he's bringing the other.
I don't know, man. I don't even know if Glacier is the strongest tool this week. Like, you see Glacier as an immediate threat, and you obviously have to prepare for it, but, like, I'm looking at the Inteleon matchup here.
Yeah, and that's the thing is Womble's matchup seems to be in a pretty commanding position against Goomer, and so I think Goomer has to like play this match almost on the back foot because I think that Womble really does have matchup here, and he's doing really well in terms of a hawk streak. Like if you think about it, if we take away the hacks that came, he's pretty much on a 8-game win streak. So it's like he knows how to play this team. He knows how to use it correctly, and we saw that especially against Ted, where Glastrier looked really, really strong, and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna bring Glastrier, but I'm not gonna bring Trick Room." I really do think that Womble knows what he's doing, and I think he's gonna be the first person to take down Gamer.
It'd be big, to be honest. I think everyone would have it down as a shock. Obviously, with Goomer being unbeaten and him being a division winner, he is the favorite, I guess. But yeah, there's definitely room. I'm looking at the matchup. I don't want to like give too much away, but there's definitely a way Womble wins this.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has to watch out for Goomer's. He likes his little Liepard pranks there. He also loves that type null, which I'm not entirely sure Womble can get through quite so easily. So our predictions we kind of already said, but I said I'm actually going with Womble.
Yeah, same here.
And Ted went with the Bashers. So a little 2-1 towards Womble from us here. What was the next one? So
here himself.
It's the Slavers versus the Wailords.
Yeah.
So obviously we spoke about this week 8. And I think we kind of overwhelmingly voted for Wailords, who ended up losing the last time. It's kind of hard for me to talk about it because I've been doing a bit of prep work with Matrix, so. But I do think it's going to be a close one.
I don't know. Otto's on a pretty good winning streak right now. His last loss was week 3 against me. So he hasn't lost a single game since. And he really does look strong right now. And we saw that his prep last time was incredible. So nothing's stopping me from thinking that he won't bring good prep again this time. And so I think that I am going to take the person who won the first time around again. I know last time I took Scraggies and they lost, but I do think Otto knows what he's doing, and yeah, so I'm taking Otto for sure.
I mean, yeah, I don't. It's very tough to call, but one thing I think Otto did super well was in week 8. I think he brought like a really like surprising team that wasn't necessarily his strongest six to bring versus the Wailords. So now in playoffs, he has the wiggle room to like completely switch it up. I think, and because he brought some like crazy stuff like Meteor Beam Omastar,
Yeah,
and yeah, I think it's certainly going to be a tough one. But I've seen some of Matrix's prep, and I think it's definitely doable. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to watch this one back.
yeah. This is definitely going to be a good set. I do think this will be like game 3 type set. I don't know. It's really hard for me to vote against Otto with how good he's been doing recently.
So your vote's going with Otto.
Oh yeah, almost any day of the week.
I'm going to go with Matrix. I believe in him. What you said?
I'm going with
You're going with Otto as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Otto takes the vote 2-1 here right now. Oof. I mean, Otto was Goomer said last week that a little dark horse for favorite to win it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Now it's my matchup versus what's he called? Strongman Staraptors.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about this before we got on call, and I was telling Ted that I haven't decided who I'm really gonna vote for predictions. Just because I mean we did a little bit of team building, not a bunch, but we talked about the matchup some, and I was really impressed with how MTV did last week, even though it was a pretty easy matchup. The one thing about MTV is that against playoff contenders, he hasn't been incredibly strong. Both of his losses have been against playoff contenders, people who are, what Matrix was a wild card, right? So, I don't exactly know. I don't exactly know if he, since this is not his team, even though he helped make it. I don't know if he's going to be able to be someone who's as much of a veteran as you are.
Well, a veteran.
He's veteran for one season now.
Yeah, I mean playoffs 2 seasons in a row, but there wasn't as many teams last season. I'll be straight up honest. I don't like this matchup. But I have something I'm trying, but my thing is I'm kind of a HO guy, and I know MTB is a control guy, so I'm having to adapt my playstyle for him, which isn't in my favor.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I have to say on it right now.
And yeah, I would say looking at the matchup, he has a lot of bulky mons, right? That's something that's been so favorable for him. Is he's got the Intimidate, he's got Screens, he's got a bunch of bulky mons, Registeel, Mudsdale, Zapdos, Tapu Fini. And so he does know how to play this style of team.
Yeah.
And so, even if because I'm an HO guy as well. So a lot of times with control and stall, you want to speed them up, but this doesn't look like a matchup where you can really speed up the pace of the game. So yeah.
I mean, there were in the predictions channel there were 6 or maybe I think 7 now whole ass clowns who have voted for me to win this. You'll be wearing clown makeup come the weekend, I think. I'm not confident going into this at all. So, put it to the vote. I'm just going to back myself, even though I did actually vote for MTB in the predictions channel. but I'll back myself.
I think. Go ahead, Seth. I haven't decided yet.
I do believe this battle will be close. I think Bill will get the. I'm going to predict the score. I think it's going to be a 2-1 in Bill's favor.
Big yikes.
I'm going. I'm gonna go ahead and vote for Bill
Whoa, that's not what I expected.
because you haven't lost since week 4.
Yeah.
I think you can win this, and I think that, and I really don't know if MTV is going to be able to show up in this matchup. He's obviously a great player, but he definitely has struggled against playoff contestants, and I think if I'm looking at this in just like a pure analytical way, I would say you are 100% the favorite. So I think I'm going to go with you.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. PRs might be very depressing next week. And the last matchup.
The game that's already been played, right?
Right. Yeah. So the stats aren't on the website yet, so I can't actually pull it up. We know the result. Can we talk about it? Like,
I mean, the video is up as well. So yeah, we'll say spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen the video.
yeah. So yeah, spoilers. If you want to go watch the match, go watch Lucien's video now. If not, we're about to tell you the result, and go for it.
So
It was 2-1 for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
I picked the Cedros before the match was played. So
Yeah, I picked Lucien before the match was played.
I think I picked Sutras because they beat me, so I gotta believe that if they beat me, they're gonna win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like just like Moltres, Regieleki stuffs.
Yeah, support Regieleki, screens. You get that. You got Moltres going. I mean, even like what Dragonite with Helping Hand barely did half to Moltres. Like it was definitely hard for Lucien to try and beat Moltres and Comfy, and then when he tried to adapt, Sneasel kind of just smacked Dragonite in the game 3. And there wasn't really a ton he could do.
Yeah, I watched it earlier, and I think he did well to pull that one game.
Mhm.
So Rebellion unfortunately are out, and the Siegers advance to the semi-finals. That would be now, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's quarterfinals this week.
That's semifinals.
So yeah, semi-finals.
That's a big improvement from last season as well. Which there were a lot of teams this season who made playoffs last season who didn't have that strong of a season. A bunch of people who did make playoffs. I mean, JustTaco, right? Like what? Wasn't he in like top 4 last season?
Yeah, semis. Yeah.
And he didn't even make playoffs. Like, so it was really, really cool to see Sauce Monster, who got out first week of playoffs last time, and now he's doing really, really well with a really, really good team.
I think
props to him.
To be fair to Sauce, he took over that team mid-season last season, and he managed to scrape playoffs.
Yeah.
So he's obviously a good player. I knocked him out of playoffs last season. So I think it is notable. He's made it to the semis without bringing 3 of his mons.
Really?
Crawdon, Kadabra, Magneton haven't come to a game.
He hasn't brought Crawdon?
Nope.
Oh, he's brought it once.
Oh, is he?
Wait, no. No, that's a Charon. Never mind. Okay, yeah, he hasn't brought it. Wow.
Yep. That's insane. And I think Lucien didn't bring Ninjask or Garbodor at all season.
Wow.
I like looking at these little stats. I've used all of my mons at least once.
Yeah, I Dynamaxed all of my mons at least once.
Dynamaxed. I don't know if I've Dynamaxed all of them.
Except for Fungus. I actually think that's true. I think I've Dynamaxed every single one of my mons through all the exhibition matches and and regular season games. So
I mean, I definitely haven't Dynamaxed Clefairy. I think I've only Dynamaxed Regirock, Sceptile, Copperaja, and Blaziken before I traded it away.
yeah.
Anyway, so
Wait, have you not Dynamax Capoeira?
I haven't, not since I've had it now.
Wow.
I'm
It's a good Dynamax candidate if you play your cards right.
I don't know. I think like so
Yeah,
far I've been
I
like
pulled-
choice sets, so like you just lose the item if you max.
Yeah.
So yeah, here they are on screen for me. The fixtures for this week. We'll dive into the analytics next week. Every video will get posted. Obviously Lucian's already posted this match, but then me and MTB record, Otto and Matrix record, and then Goomer will be recording. So we will see every match. I'm gonna try and set a premiere for mine. I'm sure Matrix will as well, and Goomer will as well. So we'll get to see them all live together, hopefully.
Yeah. Definitely some good
Yeah.
matchups. And next week is semifinals, which is when things get extra spicy.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, like even here in the quarterfinals, like I don't think any result would be like a massive upset, but like anyone that goes out now, you're like, oh my god, they're out, like, and they're like a big contender, and now they're out.
Yeah.
So it's all gonna be big names dropping now.
Can't wait.
So we'll be back next week for more VDL. It's not really a power rankings anymore, but playoff action.
Yeah, playoff analysis.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye.